Welcome back to the RugDoc YouTube channel. Today we're taking a look at Hero Phi. This is a new game that's being developed, and it's an NFT, play to earn. Now, we're going to take a look at that in one moment, but as always, I got to remind you that this is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. But we are really excited for this project. I did want to take a look at it, and it may even have some similarities to another fan favorite, Axie Infinity. We'll get more into that later. All right, so next we're going to take a look at some of my initial thoughts. This game's also been getting a lot of press and a lot of coverage because the graphics are much better than some of these other typical games that are out there on blockchain. Of course, you can make money, so they say, yet to be determined on that. We'll have to wait probably till that's released, or at least until we can get on one of the lists to try the game for ourselves. But the graphics seem to be much improved, and that's a big point for a lot of people that are interested in playing the game. All right, so I got us up on the white paper for Hero Phi because this is really where the rubber meets the road. So I want to start here, not end here. This is the most important stuff. I know a lot of our viewers take this part very seriously, right? So some of the things that I wanted to look at, obviously gameplay is a big important element. So this game is going to be a mobile game. The development team behind it are from the mobile universe. This is an important part for the due diligence that I was doing, because even when I joined the Axie world and I jumped into there head first, I knew that those guys were actually gamers and they got how that stuff needs to work. Versus guys, not to be disparaging against anyone else's project, but the folks at Crypto Blades, you could see they weren't 100% ready for the gaming world, and they didn't have certain things that you would need, like a sync for their main token. That's just a gameplay mechanic that is a basic part of any economy in a game that was missed, and it was super important, right? As you could see, it pretty much crippled the economy. The folks here are gamers. They get it. They've developed several projects in regular gaming on mobile. So this, I'm hoping, is going to be a grand slam. Okay. And from the looks of it, everything looks tight, but how does it play? So we're going to find out more about that. Okay. So here in the design goals, ownership of in-game assets. It's going to be very similar to another game, called Axie. Value of the item collection, and social interaction through the PvP mode. This stuff that might be different than what we've already seen before, and that could be interesting, right? That could add a new element. What I'm hoping for, as I see some of the stuff that they're doing that Axie was doing, and if they can make those improvements and do things better, that's always, the best case scenario. And we're all capitalists, so it makes sense to us, right? That's why we don't like monopolies. We like to see people competing because it always raises the bar. It always brings in fresh ideas from people willing to compete. Same thing. So the core gameplay overview of the campaign. These players join a battle with an army of 3 heroes and 4 soldiers. Each hero has a unique skill that can switch between heroes to use them. The soldiers can be summoned to support the attack, but they consume a certain amount of energy to do so. Hero system's divided into 3 classes. You got warrior, range, and mage. Each class has a special combat stat and a set of skills. You can build your squad with a combination of different heroes and supporting soldiers for your own unique fighting strategy. So that's kind of cool. Now, if this is going to be the way the player versus environment is going to be set up, I'll have to see. Again, as we watch some of this stuff unfold, we can say, all right, I got that. That makes sense. But until we actually play it, it's just talk, right? We've seen this before, so we want to see it. Core loop. This is important. Each level opens a new opportunity to fight with a different, increasingly powerful enemy lineup. Sounds familiar. The reward after each victory includes EXP, upgrade materials, equipment components, and other items to craft new heroes. That's how you can get your hands on new stuff, apparently straight out of core loop, right? If you want to get actual heroes. By upgrading your army and equipment, you can create a stronger squad. So, yeah, some things similar, some things different. Let's take a look at the heroes page. Heroes are unique characters that players can equip in the party to fight in battles. Each hero comes with different skills, combat stats, and fighting elements. Heroes are defined by the following characteristics. You've got the types, warrior, ranger, and mage. And the classes fire, grass, thunder, water, dark, and light. which is kind of interesting because it gives you, again, will a warrior be, your tank, or up close hand-to-hand fighting, that kind of combat. Ranger, obviously arrows and stuff at range at a distance. That would be more of the traditional role. Mage, obviously, area of effect attacks, AoE, all that kind of stuff. With the different classes, some might be fire, might be strong against grass, or, water against fire, that kind of thing. So, how they do it, heroes can be leveled up to level 30. Once reaching the max level, they can undergo ascension to reach a higher star tier and get better stats. The highest star tier one can get is 6 stars. Each hero has 4 skills. The skill system is diverse with different attributes, including great melee damage, area damage, healing ability, or mental effect on enemies. Skills can be boosted if they have the same elemental attributes as the hero's element. And this is the important part that I want you to take away from this. Heroes can get married and give birth to brand new NFT heroes. That's going to be similar to Axie, where you can breed 2 Axies, right? But there is one difference that they don't spell out here that I know about. There are the genders, and they have to have the opposite gender in order for them to be compatible for breeding. The child hero can inherit the elemental attribute from one of the parents in the following probability. And I know that the stars kind of go the same way, right? You can be, if you're both 3 stars, both parents having a child, or a new NFT is being created and minted from that, it can get 3 stars, 2 stars, or 1 star, but it cannot get over that because of the parents. So it can get at or below. And then obviously these are the probabilities of them taking on one of these other elemental attributes. So this is kind of cool. This is stuff that might be more familiar to you if you like to play RPG style games, and I definitely do. So that's something of interest to me personally. But, I've said it 100 times. It's all about the execution. We got to see how well it plays out. Marketplace. I've got some video of Marketplace. I'm going to drop that for you guys so you can take a look. And I float through basically all the stuff that they have on there. But we can take a look at that. I'm not going to read all this word for word. I'm just going to jump through the important parts too. Tokenomics. Your RoFi is the main token on HeroFi. RoFi plays a crucial part in the sustainability, play to earn economy of the HeroFi ecosystem, and can be traded on DEXs. RoFi is emitted regularly at a rate of 10 RoFi per block and allocated to heroes by way of stars. So if you have a certain number of stars, that's your percentage. I'm not going to bust all that down. If you'd like to learn more, please head on over to whitepaper.herofi.io / and it'll get you up and running. Now the team members list. This is my one thing, and this is one of the areas I was looking at with Crypto Blades, is they didn't have an economist, and that's all that game was. It was a Skinner box and an economy, and they didn't really execute on any of them. They didn't have an economist, right? So you'd want to have somebody if you didn't have that kind of a background. I mean, it looks like a serious project, feels like a serious project. So that's going to be the team members and advisors. Strong showing. It looks like they at least have some people with a lot of experience in their areas. A quick pop on roadmap. Roadmaps are important to know. They're important to understand. Here's my 2 cents. If you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you care about that. So this is the most important thing. My 2 cents on any of this stuff is, until a developer has given you a reason to trust and believe that they're going to do what they say they're going to do, in other words, they've earned credibility, I don't pay too much attention to this. These guys do seem like, I mean, they had a date, they came through, they have the beta, they did the white list, they have their first 1,000 players, which you can see that was here. I did not see this before. I don't know when it was added. Maybe they added it a week before, right? But I don't know that to be the case. Like I said, is if they hit these things, they got marketplace release and everything, if they're hitting and doing what they're saying, they're building that credibility. once you see a transition into harder things to do and to execute on, and you see some kind of track record of being able to do those things, that's when you can start to buy in big on what they're saying. 99% of white papers with roadmaps and all these things that they're going to do are just nonsense. Not saying that's the case with HeroFi, and I hope honestly that it's not, because it looks like it could be a badass game. Okay. That's all I'm going to put on that. Okay, I'm on Speculator ANTARES YouTube channel. There's not many people putting out videos. I couldn't find any in English thus far for gameplay. But this gentleman has his stuff up here. Remember, this is a mobile game, so it's going to be a little window. But I saw him connecting his phone, so he's obviously playing this, doing it on mobile. So we're going to watch, and I just want to get a feel for the gameplay real quick so you can kind of, see if it's for you. I'm going to shut up and just kind of let it roll, but we'll go through because there's some rewards and some chests. One of the things that you're also going to notice is it does the loop thing, right? Kind of like Axie Infinity, where you go from one spot to the next. You briefly saw it there before you jumped in. But then you see the 3 cooldowns. I'm assuming that's from the cards that each character has. First level, a quick decisive battle. You can pick your one of 3 cards, and that's going to be your reward. So he gets this guy. And then you can go to the map kind of similar to Axie Infinity. Now you're going to go to 1, 2, so on and so forth, and just kind of level up. Yeah, you see some kind of elemental stuff going on as well. That's going to be part of that elemental gameplay that they were talking about. The different elements trying to balance each other. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so you can take a look at your rewards, see what you got in the way of that. I don't know how that's going to affect gameplay or play to earn. Obviously, he hasn't said anything that I can tell about that. So I think everybody's just kind of learning on the fly here. Yeah, so you can upgrade stuff, take a look at the level, physical damage, health, armor, all things that you can increase. Hero leveled up. So he's level 3, I think that's saying. Interesting. The leveling is kind of similar to Axie as you go through, but the fact that you can kind of upgrade some stuff, how is that going to play with what your rewards are, what they're dropping? That's going to make the difference, right? So we've got the information about the heroes, and this is in the actual gameplay side of it. Remember, there's a whole marketplace side as well. We're going to take a look at that here in a second. All right, so this is the HeroFi marketplace. If it looks a little familiar, that's probably because it is close to Axie Infinity's. You obviously have the filter on the left side, and you can kind of filter through everything to find the hero that you're looking for. And there's only 100 heroes available at all right now. So there's only 9 pages. It's not like Axie Infinity where there's a million. This is still in the beta. But we have the stars and the breeding period on these sliders. So that kind of gives you the sense of some more Axie Infinity. The stars being probably something more like the purity of an Axie on Axie Infinity. And the breeding period, obviously, something similar to that 0 to 7 range that you would find in the Axie marketplace as well. So just poking around, that's the first sense that I'm gathering from this. And this is BUSD. So somebody's asking 2,100 BUSD, or the equivalent of 2,100 USD. So I got Mage Slayer, it's level 1. I don't know if this is going to be similar to Axie in that respect as well, too. We haven't gotten that far yet, but it's a Mage Slayer. It's a 3-star. I know they kind of range from 1 star all the way to 6. This one's the in between, right at level 3. And then you can approve that BUSD number. You can approve the token and then pay for it. So class is water. Breeding period is 10 days. This I'm assuming, this is an assumption made on my part, but it's educated, similar to what Axie Infinity would have for your 0 to 7 breeds. This is a 10 days. I don't know if that's a low or a high, but gauging from that slider, it's probably going to be on the lower end. I think here you can see the stats of this character: intelligence, agility, precision. What that all means yet, to be determined. Spinning blades, blink, expunge, and spell shield. So the 4 different, this is kind of like an Axie card, I would imagine, where those are the different skills on this particular character. Is that legit? Is that what it actually is? I don't know. But if we're doing a comparison and it looks like a lot of this other stuff is taken from that, that could be the deal. And these are, stats, something very similar. But you do have the 4 different skills. Feels a lot like Axie. And when we did that Axie Infinity video a while back too, we did mention that. They were writing the playbook that others were going to follow. Is this the BSC version? We're going to find out. But you can see we had the different classes, the genders, which we were talking about before. The genders are important because that really gives you the sense of there might be, 10,000 available, something that you wanted to breed or something that you wanted to put together. There might be 10,000 different NFTs or heroes that have that available. But having to have one that matches with the opposite gender kind of splits that number in half. It makes things a little more rare versus Axie Infinity, where you can just put any 2 and smash them, and then there you go, right? So that is a little bit different, and that the increasing the rarity of them or available partners for them automatically will push the price up, right? Because now you don't have 10,000 that you can use; you can only use 5,000, right? So that gives us a sense of these. Let me switch. I'm going to flip over to one more page real quick. Light generation. None of that means anything to me yet. Health, intelligence, precision, the stat scores. We talked about that briefly. Blade Fury, Healing Ward, Omni Slash, and Blade Dance. So we'll take a look at the gameplay. But that's what you're basically seeing. The 4-piece. Is that going to be something similar to Axie, right? Feels like it. I'm learning on the fly too with you guys. So I know a lot of people that follow this channel and a lot of our viewers are investors. This might not be a game or something that you want to play, or maybe it is. I hope that it's something that people want to play in general. That's something that Axie Infinity does really well. People really enjoy playing the game, which allowed them to do all the other stuff, right? If nobody's passionate about playing your game just to play your game, it hurts its chances. People are going to want to take out equity every chance that they get. They're never going to keep anything in. They're always going to try and tap it. So if they want to play and it's fun, that's the other side of that coin. They're going to stay invested. They're going to stay in there. I remember watching one of Elijah's videos too. If you're familiar with Mr. Elijah, he's a top Axie player for PvP. And he was talking about, all the different Axies that he owns, and he showed off some of the currency that he had in his stuff, right, in his inventory. And it was kind of interesting to see that, because that's exactly what you want to feel. You want to feel people have a passion to play that game. You want to see that. And when I was doing my research before investing, that was one of the key things that I noticed. These people are not just playing this game to just simply take that money out of it. They're not just trying to drain every single resource out of the game. They're playing it, they're enjoying it, they're having a lot of fun. That's super important. Hopefully that continues to be the case here with HeroFi. That would be super. That'd be spectacular. So to be determined on that, but that's what we're hoping. The My Characters tab over here, I've seen this on another player. I'll try and get a screen of this for you guys, but you can see all your stuff if you have a bunch. And Marketplace tab, and then the Genesis pack. This is where you can come buy your egg. Once you have the requisite amount of tokens, you can come in here and pop this. I saw somebody crack one of these before. All right, and that's the coverage of the Marketplace. A lot of Axie Infinity inspired stuff. not a bad thing. I actually like to see that. Right now, the beta is closed. The whitelist is closed. You can no longer enter the beta, so I can't actually play, but I have been watching. I'm taking a look and seeing what folks are doing. All right, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching some Hero Phi. I'm super excited on the game. The ideas are cool. How far does the execution come? Do they really hit the mark like they say? Now, if they can just do what they say, this game's going to kick ass. If not, it's going to be a mess show, poop show. So thank you again for checking out this video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. RugDoc would love for you to do that. And check out the website at rugdoc.io and follow us on Twitter so you're always aware of any of the announcements or rugs that are going on. It's going to be rugdoc.io on Twitter. That's going to do it for us. I appreciate you hanging. We're going to see you next time. Take care.